Jewell
It
PTO
will,
comments.
yeah.
Okay, let me, I logged out stupidly and now I gotta log back in. It's okay.
And they hear it. How's your day?
Guys, we are live.
Great,
Good day.
thank you.
I'm ready for Friday.
Lena, I'm going to send the live link to you in just a second. And then Renee, for that live, I'm gonna send the live link to our PTO mailbox.
Okay,
If you
great.
just wanna pull it up. Or
I
if you
just
ever
got
miss it.
signed back in, so we're all good. Thank you.
Teacher signing as well, Leanne? Yes. Boom. I'm Miss Pearson.
Okay.
I teach fifth grade. She just joined. She's Miss Pearson.
So a little bit delayed.
There will be a delay between, when it captures and when it plays. In probably about 10 seconds or so.
Okay, cool.
My kid is here. That is Lenny.
Wish everyone greeted me like Lenny Fritzstein.
Wait, oh, there.
So it looks like the.
Not too bad.
We good?
Hi Lenny, how are you?
Nice. Okay. I just might need it for the, mess up. So,
Hi, honey.
They come here besides the
Well,
regular
that's what
school
we're
day.
gonna be doing today. So we're gonna talk to some people. And then we can cover
Hey, Matthew.
computer. And then we gotta go home.
Hi, I'm Renee. I don't recognize you.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
Nice to meet you.
We're new this year, so.
No,
What
we're
grade
going
do you?
to-
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Welcome.
I think you're gonna go home with that.
I have the microphone, so I talk really quiet usually.
Oh. That's why you're echoing.
Yeah.
You're projecting.
Did you get to see Miss Rory today?
Ooh, it got warmer in here.
It did.
I swear they turn off the AC.
And we have headsets over here.
Yeah, I was
I didn't want to
somewhere?
use those before. It's so easy, like that one when you was there. Everybody else could do it. But let me know if you need help. If you want to use them.
It circulates on my box.
It's the former next to Shelby and Ray.
Alright, you can color in Miss Jeter's room. And your brother's teacher, do you want to go see her classroom? Here, Carla, do you see her right here? Or maybe Judy can see you. Do you want to crawl in there? Can you crawl in there? Yeah, Bobby. Do you want me to walk with you?
Everybody can talk.
Okay.
Good, if you got your snack.
Do you want to get your water?
Whoa, that's cool.
Is this for her?
You're in a maze.
Yeah.
He's done it twice.
But did they just do it?
Yes.
Like a week, like that's when you.
Yeah.
I saw him.
Twice. Twice? Yeah, well, I had an ACL replaced. And so I recruited the sweet neighbor girl to
You're
walk
right.
him. And my husband
You're like
was able
being
to
called out on speaker.
two times. I know, it was just put some brownie for you.
You just kind of walk around with us all the time now.
Maybe. It's actually not up very high. I turned it up pretty high at home and it gets really loud.
Lisa, you should go on upstairs. Like,
Yeah.
talk to her.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
A wireless intercom.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a couple of minutes, we'll get started.
Thursday, so that we don't have to interrupt your kids' bath night anymore.
Oh.
Sole reason for it. Want to sit in these chairs over here while we wait?
Oh my gosh, we are not hearing that right now.
Oh, that entered my house. I was like, I'm not even gonna ask a question about it.
You let them say it and I'm like, shut up, Brooklyn.
Kelly's not here yet.
So
Okay.
stupid.
Dad, you know what I learned today? I learned how to spell this for myself, but I'll just write it on the wall.
Looks like you found your way over here. My name's Renee. Nice to meet you. Yes. Yeah. Well, there's an agenda and there's minutes from May. So you need both. Or if you don't care about the minutes, that's okay.
Every Wednesday, read and help. It's really good. Did I spell it correct?
No.
I did the C.
It's you. We could wait a couple minutes and see if she comes.
So it is. Really
I know it's 6 o'clock, but we're just waiting for Kylie for child care. Oh, there she is. Never mind. Right. Okay, I'll just let everybody get signed in and we'll get rolling. It's cozy tonight.
It's really cozy.
Okay. We'll go ahead and start at 6:01 and just welcome everyone to the new school year. Very exciting. We'll introduce ourselves real quick. I'm Renee, the president.
Mike Martinez, vice president.
Elena Harrison, treasurer. Tracy DeCarlo, secretary. Shelby Brown, membership.
Jesse Rasmussen, principal.
And Rebecca Salcedo, teacher board rep.
Thank you. And then I just wrote up a little blurb here about the board, and I'm just going to read it out loud. The parent-teacher organization at RE Jewell consists of 5 board members, the teacher representative, school principal, and all of you, the general members. Board members, general members, teacher rep, and principal are all volunteer. The activities and fundraisers did not happen with all of us, every part. And sorry, I lost my place. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your understanding that while we love volunteering, we also have families, jobs, self-care, and support from general membership is always welcome, and we love having any involvement here, open to giving. So I'm hoping to have fun this year and have a good group. So thanks for coming to the first meeting. And the first thing we're going to do is look at the May minutes, and there's copies of those at the back if you didn't get those. And I'm going to pass it to Shelby to talk about that part.
So first and second motions are needed to vote for approval on everything we do. We need 2 people to raise their hands to open the floor for discussion and voting. To introduce a new piece of business or propose a decision or action, a motion must be made by a group member to the chairperson, president, or board. A second motion must then also be made. Raise your hand and say, I second it. Once opened and the discussion is complete, we can take a vote. This year, we will be voting by writing on small pieces of paper. If the discussion goes to 15 minutes, we'll pause and resume the discussion at the next general meeting. A majority vote is required for the motion to pass. If a motion doesn't receive a second, the motion isn't properly before the assembly and it is not considered or voted on. The purpose of the second is not to show support for the motion itself, but to signal a willingness to discuss it.
So it's very formal, but just wanted to put out some explanation about why we go through that process. So thank you. So first I'll ask for a couple of hands to open up the discussion or to begin the discussion for the May minutes. Rebecca. Okay.
Second?
And Mike. Thank you. And then if everyone can just look those over and let us know, let's give it a couple of minutes if there's anything you want to discuss. Okay, any comments, discussion? Okay, if you're ready, if you're a paid member and you can write on a piece of paper, yes or no, we'll vote on that. We'll pass them. And you can bring them up or I can come get them. And I'll do a count and Mike will do a second count. Thank you. Here, do you want some?
Yes.
Next one.
We're just voting on I'm soaking this all in as a new member. It's just a lot. I know.
Got them all? Okay.
There's a lot of information.
Those passed unanimously. Check, do you want Mike? Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks for doing that. We'll approve the May minutes. And then we're gonna go over the announcements and upcoming events. Tomorrow night, we have a new event called the Jewell Family Fiesta here on the North Playground. And we're going to have food carts and lotteria, houses, and music. And just come and hang out and be together to start a new school year and to also celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. So should be fun and love to see you all there. And there's also, well, let Shelby talk about that, but there's volunteer opportunities too. And then we have the costume swap. A few days that week from 2:15 to 5:45. You can come shop, you can donate stuff. There's also a bin out there now and you can put donations in and we'll get it ready for those 3 afternoons. All sizes, adult and kid, are welcome. And then we have Mini Mutter happening on the 17th, and we will talk a lot more about that at our October meeting, but we're finalizing all the plans for that. And then we will have our first tour of the town at Cafe Yum on Friday the 24th. And if you go and eat there or get takeout during those hours, then they'll donate 20% back to the PTO. And then we have several staff birthdays that we are planning to bring treats in next Wednesday for.
We have a few volunteer opportunities coming up. We've got the Jewell Family Fiesta tomorrow, the costume swap, which is coming up, the Family Fiesta. We have some bounce houses that could use some people to look over because children in bounce houses, you know, do what. We also have an art table with some coloring sheets. The Fiesta is to help kick off the school year and to just join as a Jewell community and also to celebrate the start of Spanish Heritage Month. And so at the art table, we'll have flags to color of a lot of
Different countries.
Thank you.
Spanish-speaking countries.
Yes. And we also will have a sign that we are going to deliver to Miller Paint to thank them for the paint that they donated for our playground, that kids, parents, everyone is welcome to come sign and decorate for them. And we have some awesome vendors coming that are going to be super, M's Bakery, I'm super excited about. They are coming and donating their time. They are donating samples to give out to everybody. They are running Loteria, and I'm sure that they would love some help with that. So yeah, if you want to come and volunteer or just come enjoy yourselves, we're excited about that tomorrow. Costume swap, we will be doing the costume swap after school on the 30th, the 2nd, and the 3rd, and would love people to come and just hang out and help families look for costumes. Mini Mutter, we need lap counters for the Mini Mutter for every grade, so throughout the whole thing. You can come and just do 1 grade or more. And then also we have lunch, office, and recess volunteer opportunities. You can sign up for these on the PTO website, on Facebook, or we sent them out via email as well. So whatever works for you.
And the Mini Mutter sign up is not out yet, but I'll put it out soon.
Also, before you volunteer, make sure your background checks are completed and approved.
Happy birthday, Rebecca.
Thank you.
And now it's the treasurer report, and we need to discuss and pass the budget after that.
All right, so, hi, welcome, I'm Elena, like I said before. On the very last page, you guys have our budget for the year. So just really quickly, this is our proposed budget. This is how you're proposed. It is not set in stone. It is something that we are here to discuss with everyone. This is what we thought of and came up with as a group, but it is up to our members to make the call as to whether or not this is what we want for the PTO. So I'm going to start with this first side here, which is our expenses. So this blue column here is going to be our proposed budget. You've got the yellow column next to it, which is our actual expenditures from last school year. and the 23-24 is in the orange column on the far right. So you guys, I wanted to make it very transparent so you guys could see exactly what we've done in the past and where we're looking to have things be this year. So our administration fees are pretty standard and on point. The only big change that I have here is we've set this, the printing and copying line item is set exactly equal to what we spent last year on printing and copying. Last year, at the very tail end of the year, we did purchase a printer to have on site here at the PTOs to help us save money on printing costs. So we are hoping to come under this number. Obviously, all of our numbers on this sheet, we're hoping to come over or come under them. But definitely we would like to see a significant drop in that one. So we'll see what happens there. Meetings, PTO meetings and support, that's kind of a membership support. That's all pretty standard comparatively for what we've done last year. We didn't really we didn't do any membership incentive stuff really last year. We just did discounts on some swag. So there wasn't any we gave like a pizza party or we paid for some big thing that for the membership stuff. And then coming down, teacher and staff support, we are looking at a decrease in our teacher stipends this year. So last year we had a very hefty increase in our teacher stipends. We almost doubled it. And so for sustainability, we looked at that number, which is one of our biggest numbers on our line items, and said, okay, like if we are looking to save money, like where can we do that? And so that is a number that we did take down. I think we said $50 less per teacher for the year, just because we wanted to create a number that was more sustainable for future PTOs, boards, and to fund in future years. The other big thing that we changed in there was Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week. We raised that up just because, number one, the Staff Appreciation Week is something that we just did very minimal things one day of the week for their classified staff here at the school. And it was something that we talked about. We really wanted to celebrate the classified staff more, whereas Teacher Appreciation Week, we did something almost every single day for the teachers. So we felt like that was a really unfair balance. So we wanted to kind of balance that out. So we raised the budget there to give us a little bit more wiggle room. And then also during Teacher Appreciation Week to not have to lean so much on parents at the end of the year and say, hey, can you bring this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? So there was an increase in that. Besides that, everything else is pretty, the budget for birthday and holidays we raised up just to celebrate a little bit easier. Last year, we did have a parent do a lot of handmade goodies that they baked themselves at home and paid for it all out of their own pocket, which was amazing. I don't think we're gonna have that this year. So we did up that budget there to make sure we could celebrate the staff and the teachers. Besides that, everything there in the teacher and staff support is pretty on point. MCT license and fees, really the only thing that we are looking at an increase there is we pay a $500 deposit every year to secure MCT, and we had the deposit this year hit us, and we will most likely have the deposit for next year hit us. So we have two deposits creating an increase in our line item there. Artists in residence, this budget is slightly higher than last year because we approved two artist in residence programs last year. One of them we've already approved, which was going to be Beats Theater. And so we wanted to also leave enough funds for another artist in residence program to happen in the spring. So $1,890 of that line item, the artist in residence line item, has already been spent. Jewell Jumble is pretty much on point with what we did last year, a little bit raised because last year was our first year of doing Jewell Jumble. And so we figured more teachers are going to be a little bit more involved, maybe asking a little bit more this year since they kind of were figuring things out last year. Let's see. Carnival, jumping down to Carnival, that's our next big kind of increase is the Carnival games. So last year we did have the committee mention that the games are wearing out, and so we wanted to up the budget here to allow us to refresh some of the games that needed to be refreshed. And that also, that budget number also supplies the prizes, the little prizes that we give out for Carnival night for the games. Everything else there is pretty much like, again, we've put $500 on for the decorations and the raffle, but I don't think we're gonna spend that much. We'll probably come in under that, so. Mini Mutter, we're sticking pretty close to past years. So I don't see a big increase there. $3,000 is just for our prize funding. So when we buy those big prizes for the students. And then the 690 extra on there from last year, additionally on from last year, is just for the water bottles, which have already been reimbursed back to us by our sponsor for the year. A new line item on our budget is the Silver Moon Bingo fundraiser. Thing to do, if we get this approved, it costs $500 to reserve the space. So, and then the actual event at Silver Moon Playing Bingo is a great event. And it, on the lowest end, usually they say it's about a $3,000 return for your time. And then they said that I think the highest they've had is 14,000.
Yeah.
It's usually somewhere around 5 is what they would expect for a fundraiser there. Merchandise, we brought this way down because we are only planning on restocking things that are high request items. We're basically sold out of any youth sweatshirt in the size medium, and all of our hats are gone. So those are definitely items that we want to replace, or we're thinking about replacing. So we just want to make sure we have funds there that we can do them. And then flipping over to our income side, we have no budget for, income is basically expenses. I always want to plan high, and my income I'm always going to plan low, just to be safe. Interest, I didn't put anything here, but we just recently switched within our bank to nonprofit accounts that they offer at our bank. And so we are going to be getting much better returns this year. But I just didn't feel like it was really necessary to write in how much we thought was going to be coming in just from interest. Auction, the silent auction for the carnival, if you scroll down to that, I left that low just because silent auction is very determined off of what donations we get. So I didn't want to say last year we did $6,000, so we're going to do $6,000 because I don't know if we're going to have the same donations that we had last year. Mini Mutter is right on par with what we did last year. We are hopeful that this is going to be a higher number. We are moving towards, we're going to be starting a new online platform for Mini Mutter, which we'll talk more about at our next meeting. But it'll be really cool for students to actually have their own fundraising page, basically, that families can share with whoever, and all of that will just funnel to the Mini Mutter fundraiser. Let's see. Book fair is one of those things that we discuss when it comes up. Scholastic will give us an option on our returns as to whether or not the money is going to be used for Scholastic funds for teachers, or if we can cash it out and put it into our general pot. So when that happens, we will come to you guys and ask. Silver Moon Bingo, I just put down the $3,000. That's their low end estimate. And then our community events, so movie night, bingo, family dance, the fiesta, all of that, we are saying these are community building events. We're not expecting to make any money. We just want people to come and have a good time. We'll put donation bins out, maybe sell some concessions, but these are just things that we want families to show up to and have fun. And we're not expecting anything. And then school merchandise, we're hoping to make 7,000, maybe. Keep our fingers crossed. We'll see. And so, yeah, I think that that's kind of putting us in a strong spot. My goal was to keep our expenditures less than, our income, of course, So maybe we can put things back into the general pot for the teachers that's where they request their funds out of. So the funds it's like a separate little thing, which I forgot to mention that. If you go back to the expenses page, down at the very bottom, general fund requests, we didn't put a number on that because we didn't feel like we should cap a yearly, say, the teachers can only request $10,000 this year on general funds stuff, or however much it is. So we left that blank on purpose because we wanted to kind of keep it open. And so if there was a big project that got requested, like, we can talk about it and we can maybe fund that. Or, if it's just little things here and there, they add up. So, yeah. I think that's it. Thank you for listening to me blabber. And I do believe that since we're going to be voting and we have to discuss this and answer questions, we do have to do the first and second motion hand thing. So if we want to move it to if we want to discuss, I just need to see hands. Matthew, yours in.
And real quick before we open up the discussion, sorry, I see new faces here, so I know we threw out a lot of terms and acronyms that a lot of people are probably like, what is an MCT? So in that case, would it be beneficial for everyone to understand like what is artist in residence, what is MCT?
Yes.
Cool, let's talk about that a little bit. Do you want me to
Go for it.
Okay.
You know
So artist in residence is going to be kind of some special programs that we fund. So like, as an example, that mural there was a paint by numbers that was funded by artists in residence. So kids get to come in and do something creative that they obviously normally wouldn't be able to do without that kind of funding. So it's just more of the idea of just, again, kind of sparking kids' creativity and allowing them to do something special. So that's the output of that. We have a few other murals hung around the school there. I would really lean on Rebecca to talk about the Beats thing that we're going to be funding.
Right, so
as part of our.
that's this fall, and Beat Theater is coming to work with our students on at each grade level to do a film project essentially. So they'll teach them about acting and the art of using words, facial, all your tools, right? Your voice, your face, your body to convey a message. We're choosing an overarching theme throughout the school, and then each grade level will sort of hone in on one aspect of that. And I think we're gonna go with culture, but we're discussing it. And then they come and do all the work with the kids. It is bilingual. That was a big selling point for us. Our project will be bilingual, and then and not just bilingual, ASL, and explore different aspects of culture and language. We've got Thai and other languages at this school too. And then the final product is they'll put together, they'll do all the editing and put together all of this into like a 30 minute video. So we'll have that to share with families and students and have this thing that lives. That's this fall.
Perfect.
And then MCT. Do you want me to do that one?
Sure, go for it. By all means.
So MCT is Missoula Children's Theater, and it's a long-standing tradition where the little red truck comes with two actors. The kids will audition it's a different play every time. Last year was Alice in Wonderland. Was that last year?
So,
Alice in Wonderland. And so the kids audition all grade levels. Little kinders learn what it means to audition. And then they get parts, not all of them, but some of them, so they learn the process, and they bring all the props and the costumes and all the things, and they talk about acting, and the kids are here, the kids that get parts are rehearsing all week long. We have directors as well, right? And then at the end of the week, they perform, and there's 2 performances on, I think, Saturday, usually Saturday. And it's amazing, and it's such a great experience for them, and it's been going on for
8 years maybe?
8 years, yeah. So it's awesome.
Also, Jewell Jumble. I didn't know what a Jewell Jumble was until last year.
Yeah.
Jewell Jumble is The teachers get the opportunity, you guys should probably explain this, not me.
Yeah, so Jewell Jumble is something we did a long while ago and then brought back last year. And the idea is it's like electives for a month, essentially. The teachers select things that they're passionate about, so they bring in kind of their own excitement and passions. So one person might do construction, loves building things, and so they build birdhouses. And another person might really enjoy acting, and so they do skits. And another person is all about technology, and so they do coding. I played soccer all through my life, and so I coach soccer. And then the kids get to pick a couple things that they're interested in, and they get assigned to different groups, and we spread out. And then we did 3 Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So 3 Wednesdays, the kids rotated around. So I ended up doing soccer with, I think I had kindergartners through 5th graders, and we did soccer drills and scrimmages, and then another group was doing goalie work, and so then we combined our 2 groups, and we had a tournament at the end, and they got to play. So super fun, lots of excitement. The kids love getting to go and do unique, interesting experiences. The teachers love getting to bring in their outside passions into what they're teaching. And then PTO was able to fund some of the things where we needed supplies to kind of bridge that gap and help have that happen.
Can you also explain the teacher and classified staff difference?
Oh, yes. So our certified staff are licensed teachers. That might be our counselor, our classroom teachers, myself, vice principal, that kind of thing. And then our classified staff don't have to hold a certain specific license. They're hired as support staff and do super valuable, important work, but they are in a different category of employee with the district. So we have a week that celebrates kind of our classified staff and a week that celebrates our certified staff.
Okay, we had a first and second motion, so anyone wants to begin the discussion on the budget?
Yes, I'm curious about the teacher stipends. Can you guys tell me a little bit more about why you guys are lowering their money?
Yeah, you want to go first?
Yeah.
No,
one of the things that we did look at when we looked at our budget and looked at where we're coming from, that was an $8,000 line item. And so when we thought, okay, last year we started our year off with $73,000 in our bank account, and this year we're starting it off with 48. That's a big jump. We got to figure out what we can do to make sure that we don't have a hit like that again, because if we do, next year our PTO board isn't going to have funds to start their year off really
So
well.
why are we starting out with 48,000? There's a huge jump for a reason.
Because the PTO spent a lot of money last year.
Because we spent money for the playground that needs $1 million. So essentially the teachers have to pay with a pay cut for stipends because you guys want to put $20,000 to the side for something that's going to cost $1 million for a playground. I just don't feel like that's fair for teachers.
For perspective, what is that per teacher? What do they get per teacher?
What's that?
$250.
$250 per teacher.
Is what they get now.
Yes, and it was $300.
And the year before
It was
$150.
Yeah.
Related question, I'm new here. And does your charter require a specific percentage of future budget to be set aside?
We do have, per our bylaws, we have to have $8,000 set aside.
Okay, so it's not a percentage, it's a flat
It's a flat
$8,000 that's required.
Yes.
Thank you.
yeah, and we can definitely move it back up to the 300.
Yeah.
That's open for discussion.
I feel like teachers deserve it. They don't get very much in their stipends and school stipends. And they deserve it. You guys deserve it. And I feel like giving them $300, I mean, that $50 could be like a field trip. It could be like an extra field trip for them. And like now we're gypping the kids out of stuff. We have so much money and we raised over $80,000 last year. I feel there's money in there to give them what we did last year.
And so just for perspective too, right? So going back to that budget line item around, what are we classifying it as, general fund requests? So want to make sure for those that are new, understand that stipends isn't the only way that a teacher or any staff can secure funding, right? At any point, they can come to the PTO and ask for funding for whatever, for a field trip, for different school supplies. We've already approved a couple so far. So I didn't want to necessarily leave the impression that 250, 300, 150, whatever the number might be, is the only thing that we are providing teachers for the year. And that is why we intentionally didn't leave it as a capped number, right? Again, the goal of the PTO is to help make sure that our teachers, any staff is supported. Obviously, we're going to do whatever you guys tell us to do. We are here serving you guys. So want to make sure that was very clear that 250 or whatever the number we decide on isn't the final thing that teachers get throughout the year. We do have means of providing funding to teachers, staff, et cetera. So
Did they use it all last year, or what's the difference between what they get up front
that's the other challenge that we have. I mean, we trust our staff, so we've never really raised
You just
questions.
give it-
We just
okay.
give them funds, and it's up to them on how they spend.
So the general fund request, I understand why we don't put anything into that line, but based off of your predicted income and predicted expenses, you're anticipating that to increase from your starting pot here by about $10,000.
About 9, yeah.
So you're looking at potentially about $20,000 available in that pot for general fund requests if they were needed and called upon?
More than that.
More than that.
I think going off of what Elena said and that you're trying to save money. I mean, we could take money from artists in residence. We only used 4,000 last year, and they definitely did not use that much the year before. So I feel like to make up that extra $1,000, artists in residence could be cut, and membership incentives was not used last year, and the year before that was only $52. It could also be cut from pizza with the principal, the $500. That is something that for your board, Mike, 2 years ago that you guys got donated. And so I feel like you guys could ask for donations as far as Domino's. So there's 3 different places where we could take the money from to make up that $50.
I'll speak on behalf of the membership incentives. I will be talking more about that during our open discussion later about what our incentives are for this year and what we will be spending it on.
Okay.
As well as our artist in resident. We already have one that we already paid for. So we already have about $2,000 that's not in that, and we will have a second artist in resident with that remaining 4,000.
Well, there's money in the account.
Yeah,
I would, just to kind of comment on the discussion, as a teacher, I've never had that amount available, and that sounds super generous. I'd just be curious, maybe from Rebecca, what feedback you're getting from the staff and where the staff would want that money placed.
Well,
Yeah, I can speak to that a little bit because I have the ear of lots of staff. Obviously, teachers can use that funds. They use it for supplies, they use it for things that they're doing in the classroom. It does sometimes go towards field trips. There's always the use. Ultimately, this is the PTO's money though. And so we recognize that anything you guys give the teachers is appreciated and will be used and utilized. So I would say whatever you guys are willing to donate to the teachers, they will appreciate and they will be appreciative and grateful for. So I don't know that obviously if push comes to shove, they'd say, sure, yeah, we'll take the 300, like, no question. But also, 250 is amazing as well. So that doesn't help a whole lot with the discussion, but this is the diplomatic answer.
Other comments on increasing it to 300, the staff stipend, or in general on the budget?
Just one thing, as a point, pizza with the principal. Our district, food services has a clause, called non-compete clause, that we have been running afoul of for many years, that was brought to my attention this last year. So we will be doing pizza with the principal, but we will be using the cafeteria pizza for that. And so we will, probably add in some other special things like, a special drink or a little something that the kids get at pizza with the principal. So pizza itself won't be something that we will need, but I'll be talking with you guys about what could we do instead to make that special for the kids.
And that wasn't the selling point.
Really, pizza was not.
Just so you know.
Well, yes.
Hang on one second. I just wanted to say to Jesse that, I wanted to mention that we were hoping to make that more fun. And that's why we left that budget item there, was to, pizza plates or decorations or little something to make it fun is what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Then there's a question from Johnny. Do we fund field trips? I think we do.
It is a request that teachers can come to us with, the general fund request form. If they have a field trip that is kind of outside of something that would normally happen and they want to go on that field trip, they would just fill out the form and bring it to us. And then we would, if it's under $200, the board can approve it ourselves. If it's over 200, then we bring it to the general meetings and we ask for approval at the general meetings from membership.
Thanks for asking, Johnny.
Is the large cost jump on the mini letter from adding in the online platform? Because it goes from $14.99 to $36.90.
So last year we only spent $14.99 on the prizes. But the year before that, we did spend $3,500. Last year we didn't do a ton of just general participation prizes. We focused mainly on, if you win this, you get this. If you raise the most money, you get this. And this year we definitely want to include a lot more general participation prizes for students that just showed up and they did the run, even if their family couldn't donate funds.
And keep the earning prizes as well.
Yes,
Do both.
and we're doing both, yeah.
Yes.
I had a question on the administration under supplies.
Mhm.
That in 23-24 was zero. Last year was the almost 1,200, and then now it's planned for 50. Just what it was last year, if that was the printer, or what the difference was there.
Printer, and the PTO bought a PTO administration laptop, and I think that's really it for that.
Yeah, we're not planning any big purchases like that this year.
I have a general question. I just wonder, I'm new and I have a new student here, so all of these activities and the budget is like, wow, that's pretty cool. But I want to know, you've got us that board and you guys all take on a lot of responsibility, I can see just from what you put together. As a new parent and new to the whole PTO here, what do you see as my role? I'm feeling a little hesitant to vote on all of these things because it's new and I don't know what's in the past. And I guess my question is, how do you see the role of the parents that are not on the board here? I know we all have concerns with numbers and we all have an opinion. I mean, some of the things, I could pick it apart too, dealing in the financial. So I want to put in a fair vote and I want to contribute. So I'm just trying to figure out what you see as the role of the non-board members, as how we can put in input, how we can share ideas and have open discussion.
It's a great question.
In this, because it is all new and it's a little overwhelming, and you guys have taken on some very strong roles and leadership, and it sounds like you've made a lot of decisions and put a lot of stuff in front of us, a lot of information. So I guess I'm asking, how can I contribute and
Sure.
share what is our roles as non-board members.
I'd like to first start by saying that
just-
we are here to serve you guys. Our roles here are to listen to all of your opinions, all of your voices, ask all the
Alright.
questions. We want to hear all your questions, and we want to get your guys' vote to make the decisions. We are coming up with ideas. It is your guys' choice.
Okay. So you're presenting
Yeah.
ideas
And the budget is a big one.
It is.
It's a big thing we have to do at this first meeting.
that's definitely a lot of.
Yeah, I've taken,
Sort of related to that and also to something that this parent that's obviously been here before brought up as well. It sounds like there's a giant overarching playground need in the future. A $1 million project was sort of mentioned. And with that in mind, looking at the budget, I see that there isn't anything set back towards that ultimate goal or like ongoing playground maintenance fund set up. What is there a district percentage responsibility when it comes to playground maintenance? In my whole school district, it was almost completely on the PTO, so we kept a rotating, 10% of proceeds each year went into our maintenance funds for future playground development needs. And, we only spent it like once every 20 years, but it was an important once every 20 years. So what is when we're looking at approving even the small things, what is our long-term plan to solve this problem that has arisen with the playground and future playground needs?
I could chat your ear off for probably about 4 hours. The playground is near and dear to my heart, and it was actually one of the reasons why I joined the PTO, was just to kind of raise awareness for the need. Not just the current condition and state that it's in, but it's also not accessible. So this has been something that's been in the works for over 2 years now. We actually have a dedicated playground committee that's been formed out of just parents' passion.
They don't have a
about-
line item.
Correct. So it's actually not a PTO necessarily initiative at this point. So what it is it was formed based on a PTO member like myself saying, hey, I would love for this to be a PTO funded initiative, or, kind of sponsored initiative is probably the better way to put it. It is a very large project, right? It's not $1 million, but it is a very large project, like $500,000 is realistically what it is. The thing about any sort of playground is this project's never been done. Like, I got to speak with the district and all the PTO presidents just about a week ago, and no one's done it before. We would be the first. And so that comes with a lot of challenges, a lot of questions, a lot of things that we're still trying to figure out transparently. But the intent behind it isn't to have it as a PTO funded project, because it is a large capital project. Ideally, what we're going to be doing is we might have a poster up at PTO events to say, if you would like to donate to the college or participate, you're more than welcome to do so. But we want to keep any PTO, events, things like that, that money stays with the PTO, right? And ideally, what we're really looking to do is have it be corporate sponsored. So we have some committee members that are also PTO members that have reached out to like DR Horton, that's building columns right here, and saying, hey, are you interested? And they said, we are, let's talk. So the idea is like, we're not going to be able to do a $500,000 funded project from Mini Mutters or carnivals or anything like that, right? So again, it's not something that we're going to factor into a line item because
Well, I absolutely see how this big project, but future maintenance of any playground
Yep.
is definitely something.
Definitely. And that's something where we're still having ongoing conversations with the district as well. There's a much larger policy that's being created at a district level to say exactly what you're saying.
What
is-
percentage is you, what percentage is community, that
Correct,
sort of thing.
exactly. And do they have the funds? That is a question that we've asked the district to say, if we give you a $500,000 gift, what are you
How
gonna
will
do
you
with
take
that?
care of it?
Correct. And so that's still to be determined. So
Thank you.
to give you more context, I'll talk more about actually the playground here in just a bit, but the much larger concern amongst the district is there are some schools, Lapine as an example, has no PTO. So they don't even have what you have here, right? Let alone trying to fund a playground or anything along those lines. So much bigger conversation being happened, but again, transparent short answer is a lot of that stuff still trying to be figured out.
Thank you.
But there was a transfer from PTO funds to the
Correct.
playground last year.
And the reasoning for that is because the year prior, there was a big push for fundraising. And so that's why that discussion happened last year with membership, to move that over. But it is there, so.
To go back to your question, I don't know your name, Alicia and Jessica. So I was president last year. It's more so like volunteering, would be amazing. There's just not enough volunteers, and especially Carnival, there weren't enough volunteers last year, and so it kind of fell onto people that didn't necessarily not want to take it on, but it's a big thing. So volunteering and stuff like just voting on this. Last year we voted on like a mascot costume that would be fun for the kids. So it's just voting, like having a voice in that. It's more so just having a voice.
I'm here because I want to be involved and part of the school, so.
You're in the right place.
I'm in the right place.
Yes, Ashley.
I'm gonna touch on the teacher stipends. So as a teacher, $250 I think is very nice to have as a teacher. Is there a supply? So when a classroom teacher needs like a watercolor paper, they can reach out to KVET and they can order water. So there's like a fund for supplies for classroom teachers. What I really like about the PTO is that if there's something special or extra that the classroom teacher or grade level wants, I've never known the PTO to turn it down within reason. So I feel like a $250 stipend for me would be like the things that you buy, like the pencil sharpeners and, those things that you're gonna buy anyway to get paid back for. Just knowing that I can come to the PTO and say, I have this awesome field trip that I wanna go on, and that's going to be, I don't know. I think that stipend works from my perspective. And then the more meaningful and important things for my classroom setup, I would come to a meeting and request.
Question. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian. If you were to go back to the $300 stipend for teachers, does that then lower the amount for general fund requests at some point?
I mean, it could if we overspend everywhere else, but the goal is to not.
I think the idea is just long-term sustainability. It's,
Sure.
one day we won't be here, and so we're passing that on to someone else to carry as well. So the idea was just like, what's the
balance? Yeah.
What's the in-between?
We had 150 and we had 300.
And the idea is like, $50, if that truly impacted a teacher, right? They could still come in and make that request and say, I need pencils, I need whatever the case might be. And if it's under that 200 or below, we can approve it. If not, I think we even have a request. Do we have a request today to talk about? So you'll see what that looks like here in just a few.
Yeah, what it'll say it looks like is, all of the other teacher-related activities, Conference Week support, Staff Appreciation Week, birthdays and holidays, all those budgets went up in some cases significantly. And so I think it's a trade-off of what is seen as more valuable for the teachers. Is it getting essentially money that you can spend however you want for your classroom, or is it kind of having a shared celebration experience or shared support experience, and what is more valuable to the teachers? And this budget is sort of leaning towards that of like, hey, by having extra funds, we can do a greater, Conference Week support, we can have better Appreciation Week for the classified staff and the teachers, et cetera. And that's kind of where you're like leaning as being the higher value. And so I think that's what we're voting on, is like, what do we agree is the higher value?
We also had last year somebody on the board that cooked a lot of goodies. So that's the reason why some of these numbers are so low, is because she baked a lot of stuff. So realistically, if she wouldn't have baked that stuff, we would be sitting at that amount anyway. So really, it's not increasing, it's just increasing because we don't have a baker, I guess.
Did her kid age out?
What's that?
Did her kiddo age out?
No. It's a long story. You don't want to hear it.
Okay, so could everyone please write on, if you're a paid member, on a piece of paper, $300 or $250 for the stipend? I'll count them, Mike will count them, and then we'll vote on the budget. Yeah, let's do it under. Thank you. Oh, yeah, pass them up or throw them at me. Thank you.
No, I can do both.
Thank you. Yeah, you can vote, yeah. Thank you all. Just give me a minute to get these counted. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. There you go.
I have 17 for 250,
That's what I got.
2 for 300.
Okay, so the budget stays at $250 for the stipends. And then if everyone could please vote again, yes or no, passing the full budget for the year. Thank you. And then we will move on to committee reports. Thank you.
The chair shot and play
Yeah.
Here, you can help me open and sort them, and then I'll give a quick count. Okay, looks like it's a unanimous yes, so we passed the budget. Thank you all for the discussion. We are going to move on to start with Mr. Rasmussen.
I guess I can say city.
Sure.
Hi, everybody. Jesse Rasmussen, I'm the principal. This is my 3rd year as the principal at Jewell, my 10th year as an administrator at Jewell, and my 19th year as a employee here at Jewell. I started out as a teacher, teaching right over there in 3rd grade, and then moved into vice principal, and I'm now into the principal role. So welcome, everybody. We're so excited to have you guys back this year. We're excited for a really great year. We've started off super, super strong. One of the things that we're focusing on here at Jewell, that we focused on the last couple of years, is trying to really make a community where everybody feels like they belong, where students are known by their teachers and by other staff, and their needs are met academically and socially and emotionally. So that's what our staff is here doing every day, in and out, and we appreciate all the support that PTO provides to make that a little bit easier for us to do. Just a couple quick reminders. I mentioned something in the open house kind of opening thing is for parking. We really appreciate when people If they have to get out of their car to get their student, that they are parking in a parking spot. That's been a little bit better this year. In other years, we've had people who kind of park, climb out, they're only, in their mind, they're like, I'm just gonna go get the kid. And they end up chatting with friends or with the teacher, and then their car is parked right in the wrong spot, and everyone has to try and work around it. So it's been better this year, so thank you for that. And we appreciate doing that. We also have some signs that say to turn off your engine. So if you are waiting, we ask that you turn off your engine and help save the environment. And those signs are on, so thank you, Green Team, for that. We do appreciate having volunteers all throughout the year. So if you do the volunteer background check, it lasts for 2 years. It takes, at this point of the year, it might take a week. Sometimes it takes like mid-year, it might take a day or two. But it will not work if you show up to go on a field trip and you say, but I'll just do it real quick. You will not be able to go on that field trip. So if you're hoping to do any kind of volunteering, whether that's in the classroom or field trips or PTO events where you're interacting with lots of kids, we ask that you do the background check early so that it has time to go through, and then you don't have to worry about it for 2 more years. We have a request from our construction partners in our neighborhood here. We have construction crews that are working out there every day on houses, and then we have houses that are being built over there. They have had lost a few lives, a few years off their life because students are running. That's an important distinction. Sorry about that. They have had students run across the construction area, and one person was backing up with their construction thing, did not see the student until they were through on the other side. And so they called the non-emergency police line and said, can you please put out the word to families to be very, very careful going around the construction. So I have something coming out in October that's gonna remind families to please follow the paths. We do have a sidewalk that's safe to get over here on the side to get to Jewell. On that side, we ask that you stay on the sidewalks. The construction stuff is really cool, and the kids are gonna see the straightest path to get to school, so please talk with them about watching out for construction. No lives have been lost. But we do appreciate you guys helping with that. Picture Day is coming up October 3rd. So posters are up, but flyers will be coming home to you guys. The easiest thing as a parent is to do it online, because then you don't have to worry about whether the kid turns in the flyer. We've had that happen many times where you're like, where's my picture? And the place says, we never got a packet. So if you pay online, then you don't have to worry about any of that, and the kid can just look their best, and then you get the picture. We want to thank PTO already this year for the in-service week food that you guys provided, helping with the belonging work that we're doing with our staff, and you guys provided a great breakfast for us. We've already had some lunch volunteers come in and help out, so if anyone is interested, what that looks like is you come around lunchtime, around 11, you help open tons of packets of things for the kindergartners and first graders. You help kind of sweep up after the second and third graders, and then you just hang out and watch the fourth and fifth graders. It can get a little loud, especially when we have to eat inside, so just be aware that it can be kind of loud and that might be overwhelming. But we do appreciate having more adults in there, because then it means that we don't have to catch every kid. That's not a time to sit down and eat with your kiddo. So if that's the goal, then that's not what the purpose of this is. This is, you get to see your kid when they're coming through for lunch, but you're really helping all of the students as they come through. And then the other thank you is last year the PTO funded some end caps for closets down over there. So those are then our storage for the PTO to use for swag and that kind of thing. But it really makes that area look really nice, and we appreciate that, so thank you. That's it.
One question did come in for you, Jesse, regarding the water fountain.
Yes, so last year the PTO funded a water fountain that should go in by the gym over there. Another one that will go into the 4th and 5th grade wing. I just talked with our custodian building engineer about that, and he said, yes, they were supposed to do it this summer. The plumbers didn't get to it with the work that they were doing, and so it's still on the plan. I have talked with their supervisor to ask when that's going to be, and I'm still waiting to hear back. But the plan is, yes, they're still going to be putting those in. Yeah. And just so an update for everybody on construction stuff. These fans are brand new. They look like they've been here forever, but they were put in this summer. That one is not working yet. I think they just replaced it yesterday. They're waiting for the timing something, I don't know, but it should start working. And then there's 2 huge fans that were installed in the gym and allows for air circulation while she's having the kids run around, which is amazing. So those are just new updates that the district put in this summer.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Ms. Estelle, do you have anything?
Thank you, everybody. Happy new school year. Every time I say Happy New Year, this is my year, right? This is how we look at it. But and welcome to our new parents, Jewell parents. And to answer your question, yeah, I'm really just being here and participating. We're so grateful. This is an amazing PTO, and so thanks for being here. And yeah, volunteer. We appreciate it. And I'll just try to get some more feedback from teachers for future meetings.
Thank you. And then Mike and I are co-chairs on the playground committee. And I asked him to recap a little bit about what's happening there. And we do have a meeting coming up on Monday here at 6.
Awesome. So I'll make it quick as I know we are at time or over time already. So latest with the playground update. So regarding playground, I can't remember if this was touched on last time, but there is a stop to all large capital projects, period, across the district. And just to give context for everyone that might be new, the district is redoing their policies to figure out how do we, one, maintain large capital projects when they're successfully funded? How do we make them equitable? Because again, going back to, there are some schools that just do not have PTOs. So is it fair for Jewell to have a $300,000 playground when LaPine can't get anything, right? And so I was able to meet with the district last week, and this wasn't just myself, but it was all PTO presidents to figure out, hey, here's what we're thinking. The first idea that the district had, which is still up for conversation, is for those that might not have a PTO or have a need for a large capital project, those PTOs that can successfully fund something like that, do they take a percentage of everyone's budget and then put that in the general fund and then redistribute that to other schools that have a need for whatever the case might be? The presidents during that conversation, like the biggest concern was just transparency of how that money gets spent, who receives it, who governs all of that money. And so the idea that was discussed was creating a group amongst select PTO presidents at each school, and they be the governing body over those funds. That's not set in stone, but just an idea of what they were talking about. But the whole idea is that they wanted to stop all large capital project funding until they have a clear answer and policy that says, if you can successfully raise $500,000, this is what, this is what it'll look like. This is how we make it equitable. So as it stands today, right now, we have halted all funding on any playground initiative because that's just the direction that we received from the district until they figure out what the policy looks like. Right now, they're doing listening sessions on this. So they just started with elementary schools, then they'll move on to middle schools, and then they'll do high school. And then after that, they have, I think they call them like a strategic team at the district where they take all this feedback, come together, and then ultimately write the policy. A bit of feedback that I shared was it still feels like that feedback's still in a bit of a vacuum to me, or a little siloed, because you're capturing my voice for the whole school, but they're not considering what does funding look like for someone that has a disability or learns differently. Like, you're missing a lot. And so the bit of feedback that I shared was it would be good to capture all parents' feedback so they have some context. And so the scale is the issue with that. It's one person leading this, they can't be everywhere. So what they're looking to do is essentially rather gather PTO presidents again. Once they start to come up with a draft of what these policies look like, I'll bring it, or someone will bring it to a PTO general meeting. You can provide feedback, and then we'll send it back and we'll go from there. So outside of that, again, all that's kind of stuff from a funding perspective. We're still going forward and working with our community members. So we have support from the main architect and designer from Ben Parks and Rec. We've worked with a bunch of different groups just to kind of get some guidance on, hey, what does an accessible playground look like? So we're still meeting on a recurring basis. As it stands today, the last update was we were kind of revised a funding letter or an ask for fund, just saying, hey, here's the current status of the project for those that were reached out to, just saying, here's the latest. We can't accept funds just due to the district. But that as soon as we resume, we will obviously touch base. But outside of that, you know, part of me sharing what we're working on kind of spawned more interest from other PTOs to say, we have a need. Like, I didn't realize, just to kind of give people context, there are some schools where if you want, they have a 2-story building to get downstairs, kid in a wheelchair needs to go through a closet to get down to the 2nd story. They're like, we have big projects we would like to do too. So they have also shared interest in doing a playground project as well. So they'll be joining our committee meetings. Welcome everyone else to participate that's interested in doing something that will ultimately impact someone for years to come. So if you'd like to join us, we're joining, what was it? 22nd?
Monday, the 22nd at 6, right here. Or actually, we're gonna meet in the conference room if there's a small group of us. And we're working on still prepping fundraising items and focusing a little bit on the current like safety and asking the district for information about our current playground status. So, yeah, thank you.
No worries.
I just wanted to give everyone an update what I have on the mascot. Last year we paid $1,234.39 for a mascot that was supposed to be delivered before school ended. And over the summer I've been, there's no phone number, but I've been emailing them and trying to communicate with them on their messaging on their website to find out about when it's going to be delivered. I got like a new date of the end of August and then nothing. So I've been asking again and then asked 3 times for a refund. And I have not gotten much response. One response was, can you flip over to the email so I can read it? Thank you. The shipping has been postponed due to tariff, but mascot is ready. Could you please pay the taxes and FedEx shipping of $400? Let us know. You'll receive it in 3 days. And I responded and said, no, we're not going to pay any more money, and I want a refund now. So that's as far as I've gotten.
Can you go to the bank? Why can't we file with the bank? It's clearly a scam. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My fault and Kylie's fault.
Oh, no, it's fine. I just want to say that's where I am, and I would love ideas of what to do, and can we open it up for discussion? So.
It was a super cute mascot.
It really
was. I wish
we
you could get it.
We already paid for shipping. Yeah. Like, it's done. Give us our costume. I would go to the bank and that's a lot of money.
Can we
I
get
would
a
go to the
first
bank.
and second to open the discussion? Thank you. Okay.
I'm not sure if we can. I can definitely go and talk to them, but since it was paid on a debit card and not any kind of like credit card or anything like that, I'm thinking that like this money is out of your account and gone.
Does the debit card have a Visa MasterCard logo on it? Then it's still protected by that. Yeah, it's like can be a fraudulent charge, and someone will eat that somewhere.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is there an alternative to ordering from another company?
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that we will come back and look at once we.
What's hard is
Yeah,
that they're all
what's
scary looking, and so this one was like elementary based, like fun, happy. We can't find any companies. We can, but they're like $15,000 for one, because it has to be custom made. Which is why we settled on this one. Apparently it's a scam.
Where's this company located?
France, yeah.
Yeah, so for doing that, like, can you just do that, or do you need a vote to like go try and talk to the bank and cancel it out? I don't know how the process works.
I think we can just go. I was hoping to get it resolved before this, but haven't, so apologies.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Like, let's see if we can get the money back, and then if we do, maybe try and vote to roll that forward towards a future mascot fund.
Okay. Thank you. More updates hopefully next month on that. And new business, just wanted to share with you all really quickly our goals for the years as a board. We're hoping to represent the interests of you all and have lots of participation any way that you would like and feel comfortable. And anything else on that before I breeze by it from anyone on the board? Okay. And then we have a funding request from Wendy Pearson. And I'm gonna have you go first to just kind of explain it, and then we can do discussion and vote.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I teach fifth grade here. I want to thank everybody who's here, and I want to thank you for having me. And I'm here to represent about 12 of us who are asking for a digital resource called Classroom Screen. And we've used Classroom Screen for a few years now. And when you buy the Pro membership, you get all the bells and whistles. And so we use Classroom Screen it's heavy in the upper grades, so 3 through 5. And we put our schedule for the day, and it allows us to customize it so that it gives the students more information of what am I facing today. It's got other tools that you can do announcements for PTO events, for anything school related. And then you can use timers. There are group makers. You hit shuffle and it keeps them all on their toes, because who am I going to be in a group with now? And it's so fast, and there's lots of graphic enhancements that you can choose from for your backgrounds so that you can keep it fresh, so they're not getting bored with it. And my last selling point is, as an advocate for teaching executive function skills for students, this takes care of so many of them that strengthens their confidence for being mentally prepared for their day and to know what to expect. As we know, the research is proven that's good for children. So we're asking for 12 memberships, and they are $36 each. And I think the total is 400 something.
432 total.
432.
So can I get a first and second to open it for discussion? Thank you, Shelby and Mike. Any questions for Wendy?
Is that a yearly subscription?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
One of the things that I've seen when I go into a classroom that is using that Classroom Screen is that a student who went to the bathroom missed 3 minutes of instruction. Let's be realistic, 5 minutes of instruction, comes back and is like, what are we doing? Where are we supposed to be? They can look up at the screen and see exactly what they're working on, how much time they have left. And they don't have to go to the teacher. They don't have to ask their friends. They just look up there. They know where to look. They know what to look for. And then they just slide right back into whatever they're supposed to be doing. Super helpful. And it's something that the teachers were doing a lot already, but they were doing on their board, then erasing for the next thing. And this, they can create multiple slides. So they can have one for math, one for reading, one for writing, and they just slide to that one, and they've already created what it's going to be. Or if it's something that's just repeated activity, they're like, okay, this is reading group time, and here's the slide for reading group time. And they pull that up, and they just go through and show the students. Students know what to look for. They know what they're doing. It's pretty awesome.
Can I add 2 more things?
Yes, please.
So we're using the free one, and it's limited. So when we get the Pro subscription, we have access to more goodies, such as you can click and show what materials that the kids would need for the activity that we're doing. The other point was...
There's the saving.
Oh, yes. So let's say I'm using the free one right now, so I have access to one screen. So every day I'm going and changing all the things about it. With the Pro, you can make one for Monday, and that's your lineup, and you just go, and it's just much quicker and more efficient and gives us more time to do all the other things that we're demanded of. But saving those screens is huge. Yeah.
Well, the other downside is if by accident the internet crashes and she has to close everything, then she has to recreate everything again. But if you have the paid version, it's all there saved, ready to go, so that you can actually just pick up and go.
I pulled it up on my phone and looked, and that's a lot of features for $36.
And we are
The
voting for
widgets seem really cool. too,
Yes.
Like they're red, yellow, and
Yeah,
green.
yeah,
That's pretty neat.
yep, just, we're voting on, for 12 teachers requests, a total of $432. Any other question? Yes,
Just a vote gonna be a yes or no?
it is gonna be yes or no, yes.
So where does that come out of the budget then? How does that decision get
Good
made?
question.
Is it,
From the,
and we just approved a budget with 0 general fund requests. I guess, how does that fit in?
So that's what she was saying, that like, she didn't wanna put a number there, cause if we put 10,000, then teachers may think like they can no longer request, cause we've already reached what we put on our budget. But that mentally, she has the difference between the budget and the expenses, knowing that we will spend a large amount of money there.
So that comes out of the general funds, but there's $48,000 in the general fund currently that we're hoping to not even touch and leave that just for the teachers. And then this budget that you're kind of seeing in front of you is like, here's what we're planning on bringing in, and we're hoping to make more than that, and we're gonna hopefully add at the end of the year to the general fund pot. That's our goal.
So we basically borrow from that pot to
Yeah.
put on our event, and then we make that and more back. So it's just like none came out of it, and then some got added.
I would say that that line is not a zero, it's just open-ended.
It's just open-ended, yes.
Sorry, I know it's a lot to digest. And we're happy, you can email us questions, and we can talk to you anytime.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and one thing might be good is, maybe we can find a way to represent that in the budget in a way that doesn't show a hard cap, but shows that here's the buffer, and that buffer can be adjusted over the years, so we can understand kind of what's there.
I think it would be beneficial to see that over the years past. If for perspective, especially for the beginning of school year, it would have been nice to see what was our starting fund and ending fund for each of those school years before, and our starting fund for this year. I think that would have answered a lot of the questions that we had come up.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe it's a dumb question, but were all teachers offered this and just 12 of them
Correct.
wanted it? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's not a
some of the
dumb
younger grades use it just a little bit, so the free one works for them. And then others have
Some of
other
us are-
systems.
Some of us are analog.
How many teachers total, like we're saying 12 out of how many?
We have 18 classroom teachers, and then other staff that also support. So 18 classroom teachers, which this is more of a classroom tool than another support staff that kind of is itinerant, goes into classrooms. This is something that a classroom teacher would use. Yeah.
No questions are bad, so you're good. Okay, well, let's take a vote. Please vote yes or no and pass them in. And then we'll move on to the last thing.
I have to go pick up my daughter, but thank you, everybody. It's wonderful to have everybody here, and we look forward to seeing you at all our events. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let me open them one. These are all your?
Yeah.
Okay. We got 18 yeses, noes.
Yep.
Okay, so that passes, and Wendy, we'll get together to get those ordered.
Thank you, PTO.
We need to let the childcare go in about 9 minutes, so I apologize. We can have the kids out here if we want to keep going. But we're at the point where it's just open forum, so if you have something you want to discuss, just propose it, and then we'll get a first and second, and we'll discuss it. We can always vote on things like that. Before we do open forum, I was going to chat about our incentives for membership this year.
Thank you. For general membership, if you sign up with your email and your name that you came to a meeting at every meeting, we will draw a general member to win either your choice 50% off a regular merch item or a free 50th anniversary shirt. Last year was our 50th anniversary. And then for our staff, we have any staff members who sign up by October 1st, so tell your colleagues, will be entered to win a $50 gift card of their choosing. Yes, isn't that fun? And then the class with the most parent signups by November 1st will be getting a pizza party. So.
And for the staff one, were we doing October 1st or the October meeting?
October meeting, sorry, did I say October?
Give you a little more time.
Sorry, by the October meeting, October 16th. Any staff who signs up by then. Yeah, and staff signups are only $5. Wendy, talk to me about that.
Click 10.
I owe you money.
Well, it can just go towards
Okay.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
and yeah, those are our incentives this year. So sign up, get your friends to sign up in your kids' classes so they can earn pizza party.
Staff is October.
Okay, yes.
I just want to say thank you to our board. You guys are wonderful. You put in so many hours this summer and the website's amazing. And I just really appreciate everyone's hard work. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you too, so lots of love going around here.
I had a question about, I talked to Atlanta a little bit about it, but the membership for teachers and staff, what if we were to somehow waive the fee, or if we paid the fee for the teachers or staff, just so that they're not paying incrementally to join the PTO? Because that fund would go into the general PTO fund anyway. So I don't believe that we have a line item for making money from membership. So it wouldn't necessarily be spending money. So that was a question proposal that I have.
Does anyone first and second, so we can talk about that? Thank you. Okay, go for it, Deidre.
Well, I think parents often, I know I've often bought my my own child's teacher's PTO membership. And so I wonder if we could just say like, hey, we're looking for parents to buy their teacher's membership. I feel like a lot of parents would be willing to do that. Just an idea.
We'll still keep it at that $5. So the rest will be.
And we're talking teacher and staff, like everybody, right?
Correct, yeah.
Sorry, just wanted to add that there.
So into I just checked the bylaws to see if that answer's in there, but I didn't see it there. In our general fund, do we accept specified donations? Where, the donor is choosing the direct cause, since we're a voting entity?
We have for like fifth grade party and playground.
So if it's a committee?
That's historically, that's how we have done it. I've also had some bylaws pulled up and it just says like, do annual dues and paid members, but it says that we can decide on what that is. So I think it's open to change. So are you proposing to change it to 0 for staff and teachers?
That was my initial proposal, but I'm not opposed to, opening it up to parents.
Okay.
I guess my question is like, I could see many parents paying for their teacher, but then like, what if?
Multiple.
Or or multiple or none. I mean, like then what happens there? Like, and then, the support staff and things like that some parents may not necessarily have a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
it does simplify it by just saying teachers and staff
Wait.
just wait.
Yeah.
And then those that come, we would just have a tally and be like, oh, we
They
spent $70 on memberships for staff and teachers.
So we have had some staff sign up and it doesn't bother me either way, but would we want to reimburse them if we pass this?
Yes.
Okay, I just have to ask, I gotta know.
Invite that into the thing.
With a comically oversized check for $6.
Yeah.
Like they won.
Publishers clearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole PTO shows up at their door.
Any other comments or ideas about that before we take a vote on it? Okay. So the question is, our proposal is to waive the staff and teacher fees for sign up and make it 0. So if you can vote yes, you would like to do that on the paper, or no, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
And a piece of clarification there,
Yes.
and refund. what we
Yes,
said.
thank you. You got that, Tracy? Huh? Yeah. That's part of it. Mike added it in, but I said yes. So, make it 0 for staff and teachers and refund the people who pay.
And then if we figure out what that dollar amount is, I would just have my business donate that amount.
Okay. Thanks, Bailey.
Can't be more than $200.
It's probably not very much, yeah. Totally.
Thank you. We would love teachers to sign up and just be present and hear their voices, because I think that's been lost in connection in the past years, and we would just want them hearing us. Them showing up is incentive enough for us to get incentive, yeah.
I meant in the cost. Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
mention there was like a teacher?
It's a $50 cost, yeah, but we,
Okay, so I mean, that would, if they're already, if the cost is 0, or you can
Yeah.
still budget for them.
Yeah.
For them to still come. Okay.
yeah, I think it's worth it for us
I
to,
agree,
yeah,
but
to
it's
just
just, yeah.
see if we can get more teachers to show up and hear their voices.
Yeah, because it's based on the sign-in page.
Oh, it's like.
Or no, it wasn't, it was
That
sign-up,
was just
sorry.
that, yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Maybe
gonna be
that's what
quiet.
those grant teachers can have, they're all gonna be going on the side of the charge.
It's for sign-ups, I apologize.
Starting October.
I have a question on the sign-in page. Are we like singing?
We are.
Yeah.
So do we have a virtual sign-in page?
We do
That's a
not.
good point.
Because I mean, I love a teacher that participates by listening in, while they're cooking or doing whatever
Yeah.
they need to.
We could absolutely add to, have them just pop in their email or privately message us their email, and we can have them in too.
Yeah.
Because it is on, our streaming is on YouTube, so they can comment there or they can message us.
Yes.
Comments are public though? that
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, so
they
privately, they can privately
Yeah.
message us, but we'll add that onto the pledge. Yes. Don't put your emails on the comments, guys.
Okay, that unanimously passed. Mike, can you, well, is there anything else, I guess I should ask? I wanted to run and relieve Kylie, but is there anything else?
Just one bit of feedback from the group. This write down vote is new for this year. Good, like it. All right. It eats up more time, but the one thing we wanted to avoid was giving people the flexibility of voting honestly. Like sometimes we might feel peer pressured into voting, so one way or the other. So this just keeps it anonymous. We did receive some no votes. I just wanted to open it up. Like if this works, then it works for us too.
No, I think that's a great solution to allow people to feel comfortable with
I
the
think
vote.
practically speaking, a basket you passed around would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
everyone can just put it in.
Yeah, and it keeps it even more anonymous, so.
Cool.
Pass the basket around?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Anything else? Okay, well, lots of love and appreciation. We'll end at 7:31.
And come to the fiesta tomorrow.
Yes.
Let's go to the fiesta tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to hold those tables? Oh, was I back there talking to you?
Yeah, but even when you're like 3 people, like you just trust them.
Does that work?
There's gotta be.